Hello there, my name is Matthew and this is Mandy. Now this is Mandy's 5th picture. She's on a painting mission, she is. The last time round I set you some homework to paint some little figures and a dog. So should we say how you've got on? That's quite nice, little happy family. You've got 3 people on there.
And the lead.
And the lead. Superb. Did you find it all right then doing this?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. Yeah, once you get over the not trying to do too much detail, keep it simple.
That's the key to it, because it's distant people, you see, and that's what it's all about.
And
superb.
It works okay, doesn't it?
Extra points for the shadows as well. Superb on that one. Okay. So is that based on your family then?
Something like that.
Okay, so what we're going to do today is have a go at painting a nice bright sunny day, a summer picture with a nice summer tree and a little river running through. Right, so here we go then, let's get stuck into this. What we're going to do is put the sky and the water on. Okay. The paper stuck down with the masking tape as normal, and we've put 2 pencil lines straight across, around about 1/3 up. So put the top line, leave a little gap, centimetre-ish, and then another one at the bottom for the little bit of land at the background, okay? Okay. So we'll mix the colours. Just a standard blue sky this time. So what we need to do, again, big brush, and then use the blue. Just a very simple French ultramarine blue.
Quite watery, is it?
Yeah. Think back to the previous skies you've done that. Pale blue colour. What we'll do this time though is we'll also mix a greeny colour, because below the line is going to be a reflection of some distant trees and bushes. So for this what we can use is the bright yellow, which was the aureolin. So that's a really bright, striking yellow, and blue to make it green.
Got a little bit of blue in there anyway.
Save yourself a job there, haven't you? Yeah, that's fine. This is actually a very nice green mixture. It really is a superb colour to work with. So obviously the more blue, the darker the green will be for this one, but that's just about right.
A little bit more blue.
That'll be okay.
Okay.
That's it. Yep. So we can get stuck into that. So all we need to do basically is just put the water on again. Same as normal. Clean your brush, put the water on. And it goes all the way down through the whole picture this time. Okay. So while you're putting your water on again, make sure the light's bouncing off. Make sure you've not missed too many areas, but it's okay to miss a few.
Miss a little bit.
Slap it on. The sky is not the main subject of the picture, so it doesn't matter too much really. So you can get that on and just bring it all the way across, all the way down, over the water below the line. So wet into wet again, that's the technique. Yeah. All right. The blue, so at the top, painting the door, job. Use your full arm, just sweep it across, leave 1 or 2 white bits, maybe a bit of a cloud or something, let's say, and we can just bring it round there, bring it down, use your full sort of brush stroke as you do this, bring it down towards the bottom. But if you notice what I've tried to do at the bottom, I've tried to tail the colour off at the bottom, so that's okay, because it's just a plain summer's blue sky really. Yeah. At the bottom, do the blue at the bottom. So right at the bottom of your picture, over the top of the water, that's fine. But rather than putting any more paint on, actually take the colour away, take it up into the wet area. So what you've done is just broke the white of the paper really. You've took blue sky, reflection of the sky at the bottom. Change brushes. Go for the smaller brush. This is round about a size 6, that was a size 10-ish for that one. This is the working brush if you like, and we'll use this green colour, and just below this line in the water area we can imagine like a reflection of some distant tree, so just put some blobs, quite loosely painted, just sat on that line, that's it. Bring it through
underneath the bottom line.
Yeah, that's right, you've got it. Put some, keep going over the same area again and again as you do this. That's just going to be like a reflection of some green trees or something up there, okay? And then just one final thing to do, and that's just to slightly darken the actual colour. So put a touch more blue in your green in your palette. So it's a darker green. Probably use some of that blue, it's slightly heavier. That's it. Wipe it. I'll tell you what, stick some more yellow in there, shall we?
It's gone a bit blue.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine, as long as it's slightly darker than the first green. Yeah. While it's all nice and wet, what we can do is use this colour, that spot on there, and just put little sort of darker spots within it while it's a bit damp. So just let your brush dance across the top edge of it. 1 or 2 shadows, that sort of thing. Let it work in. Imagine you've got a bit of a shake as you're doing it, and let it just like jitter on your paper, you know, like. That's it. I think you can bring a bit more colour down there as well. That's it. But it's still workable, that's the great thing about watercolour painting, you know. Wet. I think you can get some brighter yellow in there. So put some more yellow into the green, That's probably enough. There you go, mix through. Perfect. In fact, I might pinch a bit of that. And what we'll do is put some of this just at the bottom, just on yours mainly, but I think I could do some of that as well.
And just shake it again.
Towards the bottom, shake it in, mix it in with the colour there. That's it. Only do this if your paper's wet enough. If it's dry, then obviously don't do that, that's fine. So imagine that's going to be the trees above as well.
Yeah.
So that's spot on, okay. And then what we'll do...
We'll need to do a little bit there.
Can do. We'll let that dry off. Excellent. Okay, so while it's drying, just to quickly recap, the colour for the sky, very simple, French ultramarine blue. The green colour was aureoling the bright yellow and blue to get the bright sunny green. Wet the paper, put the paint on at the top, then reverse for the reflection at the bottom. Then what you can do is put some wet into wet green colour for a reflection of some trees to be. So trying to think ahead, you know. And then that can dry off. Okay, so nice and dry then. So this is going to be the water, this is the sky. So what we'll do is put some trees across the back, the top pencil line. Okay, now to do this we can make it a little bit easier on ourselves. What we'll do is use this smaller brush, the detail brush again. Okay. Probably going to mix up a fresh colour, but you can do it within this one because that is obviously still a green colour. So what we'll do is we'll go for the aureolin again. It's quite a definite colour, so plenty of paint, quite chunky, a little bit of water just to obviously get it working, you know, but plenty of the colour in there, and then obviously some of the blue. Try and get a medium colour, not too bright. It's a bit more blue for yours there.
That enough?
I think touch of water probably, and then you'll be okay with that one, that's fine. What we need to try and do is get a spiky brush. So to get a spiky brush you need to give it some hammer. So we just bang it head on there, look. So it goes spiky and open.
Does that not ruin your brush?
If it's a good quality brush with nylon bristle, it will actually last quite some time, this brush. Okay. See, this is a worker, this one, it'll do all the way for you. So give it some hammer, that one. So it goes a little bit spiky and a bit scruffy. Yeah. Scruffy brush, okay? Now the scruffy brush is nice for stippling trees, let's say. So what we'll do on the picture is get some scrap paper with a straight edge, put the straight edge over the actual top line, hold it down in the place you're working, and just start to do some little spiky bits. Use the scrap paper if it's not working for you, give it some hammer, really give it some weight, that's it. So it goes all scruffy and open like this, and then you can stipple away, and you can pretty much work mainly on the right side because that's the open area on this picture. Okay. Keep stippling your colour. When you pick your paint up, make sure you stipple it, and just go up and down. Imagine you're thinking about trees as you're doing this. You're working along this line there. Keep picking the colour up by stippling, that's it. Excellent, that's superb. Imagine the shapes of the trees as you work along. So this is the good old worker brush, number 6. Take it along. Keep getting the ups and the downs. Think trees, summer trees, and I want to take it across, put some larger ones towards the middle, shorter ones across on this side. While you're doing this, make sure you're slightly conscious of the fact that you put a reflection on and the reflection wants to be similar to the way the trees are. Yeah. So absolutely keep checking, so yours could be slightly higher on this side, yeah?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, so you could keep working along, or you could even do it, once you've gone along, take that away and then...
Does it matter if it's gone over the line there?
That's good if that's happened because it's more natural. The straight line is too perfect really. Okay. So we can work along, stipple, give your brush some welly. You can't damage it really. If it's a good old-fashioned worker brush, it'll be fine. Think about the spiky trees, and I'm just going to taper them off as I come across to this side. I'm not too concerned about over this side because I've got a tree going to be there later on. Okay. Take it away. That's this kind of idea. And that's it, you've got it, you see. You get more confident now, just slapping it on, aren't you there? Think about the shapes of the trees. Spend a bit of time on this, you know, it's something what you really want to... Superb, actually. And you can actually see your reflection there now, can't you? Yeah, the shape of it. Out of everything we've done so far, this is the one thing I'd probably say just to spend a bit of time on, you know. It goes along pretty straightforward, really. And you can go over the same area again to give it a little bit of texture as well. So it's not just flat. You can see the shapes of the trees there. That's the sort of idea.
Just come back.
That's it, it's like magic. If your brush does ever really get in a mess, then what you can do is you can get some hot water, almost boiling, and just give it a swirl.
And it goes back into the shape.
Yeah, that's right. So that's the kind of thing to do there, look. That's fine. We can leave that for the minute.
Okay. Is that enough or do I
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we'll come back and do a little bit more later on. But while we're working with the greens, we'll put something at the bottom. A bit of a banking where there's going to be a large tree. Okay. Probably go for a bigger brush this time, actually. This is around about a size 10. Still working with the same aureolin. So the same colour. The same colour, just making it a bit fresher, that's all. But the colours there, it's a nice, bright, fantastic summer green, this one really. Then what we'll do is just put 2/3 of the way up the water, just put a little bit of a banking coming down there like this.
Okay.
So it goes right down almost to the opposite side. That's going to be the foreground where the trees are going to be sat, just there. That's it. And then put a couple of lines of this colour. Now to make it a little bit more lively, put some of the aureole in on its own. Doesn't matter if it's got a little bit of the green in with it, because obviously it's going to go in anyway. So you can just put this on.
Underneath.
Get it mixing with the green what's already on there. So you get that kind of sunshine yellow in the foreground. That's it. Okay. Smashing job. So while that's drying off, just to recap what you've just done, using variations of aureolin and French ultramarine, putting this definite tree hedge across, using a straight edge sheet of paper and giving your brush some welly, bang it on your palette. The foreground went in relatively easy as well. It was the same colour at the top, but it was the aureolin as you come down to the bottom. So that can dry off and then we'll get the tree on.
Okay.
All right.